Hi again. Usually my company, Stealthy Wood, will work with simple price lists. However, it can also be useful to start using price lists that are based on rules. In Odoo, these will allow us additional possibilities like rounding or setting minimum quantities to trigger a discount. For example, we could decide to offer a discount to our customers who are buying more than 3 items. When these customers go to checkout, our database will automatically apply a 10% discount on the public price. And we'll also have the amount rounded, so the price ends in 0.99. This is a nice touch as it will keep our prices looking good and in uniform. We'll also have the option to add a minimum margin so we can reward our loyal customers while maintaining a good revenue. So let's dive into our Stealthy Wood database to see how this works. All right, here we are on my database. So let's go ahead and jump to the sales application, and then we're going to go to configuration settings, and we're going to activate the option to use computed price lists. Okay, so we're going to scroll down underneath the pricing section, activate price lists, and we're going to choose advanced price rules based on discounts or formulas. All right, you also have the choice of multiple prices per product, but I do talk about that in another video if you haven't seen it already. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a price list once you have this saved. All right, so I can either go to products, price lists, or I can click on this button right here from the settings page. All right, so we're going to be redirected to our price list, and I'm going to click on create. Let's create a new price list called superheroes. Okay, and once I have added my super awesome title, I'm going to go ahead and create some rules. Okay, so underneath price rules, I'm going to go ahead and say what this is applicable on. So I'm going to click on add a line. Okay, and then I have many options here. Okay, so I can decide what I would like to apply this on. So either all products, a product category, a specific product, or even a specific product variant. Okay, so you do have some options. And I'm going to go ahead and select product. Once I click on that button, I'm going to be able to choose my product. So I'm going to choose my basic office chair. All right, on the right, we're going to be able to add a minimum quantity. So this rule will apply if a minimum quantity is met. And I can also add a start date and an end date. So we could say that maybe this is just a temporary thing that we're offering. I can add that there. Then down below, we have our price computation. So of course, we can just have a fixed price. So for example, I could just say $10 fixed price. I could do the same, but based on percentage. You'll have the percentage price here. Or I could make the price based on a formula, which is what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so as we see, I see the new price will equal the sales price. Then I can add a price discount. So let's go ahead and say 10%, discount of 10%. Okay, and then I can say plus a certain amount if I want. I have the rounding method, so I'm going to make the rounding method 1. I'm going to make the rounding method just 1. But as I mentioned, I want all of my products to end in 99 cents. So I want to say 10.99 or 15.99. Okay, in order to do that, I'm actually going to say plus negative 0.01 or minus 0.01. Okay, so the rounding method is 1, but they will always be minus 0.01. Okay. Then we also have the option to add a minimum and a maximum margin. And I'm actually not going to do this now, but just know that you do have that option available for you. Okay. So now that I have this set up looking good, I'm going to go ahead and save and close this. All right, so this is for my superheroes price list. So let's go ahead and apply this to one of our customers and see it in action. So let's go to our contacts. I'm going to choose one of my customers who's a superhero. So let's choose Adrienne L. I'm going to edit this and go to the sales and purchase tab. And by default, we're going to have the public price list underneath the price list section, excuse me. But I'm going to go ahead and choose superheroes here and then click on save. Now let's go ahead and see how this looks when we create a quotation. So we're going to go back to the sales application, and then we're going to click on create. Okay, so I'm going to choose my customer. So let's choose Adrienne L. I see that price list has applied here on the quotation automatically since I do have that price list added to the customer template or the contact template. And then we're going to go ahead and add our product. Okay, so we selected the office chair. All right, and it looks great. So our unit price is $62.99. So I see that I set up my formula properly to get the price that I want. And if you notice, so let's go ahead and switch customers. Let's go to AC. The public price list will apply. I will need to remove the line that was already added in order to reset the price. Or for example, I'll have to add the line again. Okay, so we see that just a regular price applies, 70. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove that old line. All right, and it will be the same if I switch customers again. So I have Adrian Linnell, the price list changes, but that doesn't apply to the products that were already added to the quotation. So I will just need to re-add it. And we have that computed price. Okay, so it's quite easy to set up, as you can see, and it's definitely a feature you should take advantage of. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.